They are actively choosing to connect with a brand in a way that they have never before. On the payment front, unbelievable momentum here in terms of the technology and the ability to transact with your phone. If you think about it, never more has a payment been easier. We've suddenly conditioned people through things like app stores and what have you and micropayments that it's just that easy to make a purchase. But suddenly imagine if all of your customers were able to pay for you with the touch of one button or pulling out of their phone. It's absolutely amazing the ability we have to ease and smooth that transaction and close that sale that much faster. Mobile payments are expected to be mainstream in the next 4 years. In fact, in Japan, they've adopted tap-and-go technology on their phones there in 3 years. That is the fastest growing technology adoption in history. And 1 in 5 smartphones worldwide will be NFC enabled by 2014. Staggering. You need to think about all aspects of payment, local, social, as you are connecting with your business. On the social front, we really are at this transformational age. When you think about traditional marketing, you always talked about word of mouth marketing. How am I going to get my customers to evangelize my product? Now you need to be thinking about word of mobile marketing. If you are not in this mobile device, which is where people are sharing, where people are choosing to communicate what they believe in, then you are not part of that conversation. Foursquare reached 10 million users this year. That's 10,000% growth in 1 year. And 50% of Facebook and 43% of Twitter users access via their mobile phones. It's really amazing. The other night, I'm sad to admit that I was lying in bed with my iPad at the end of the day checking Facebook. And all of a sudden, my news feed lit up with notices of my friends and colleagues having signed up for Spotify. What did I do? I clicked on it. I entered my email address to instantly get on the wait list to join. And about 9 seconds later, I was a part of Spotify's member community. If they weren't there, if they weren't part of that mobile social space, they would not have had a customer in me. It's amazing the power that that can have. And on the commerce front, the growth is staggering. Obviously, e-commerce is growing, but mobile commerce is growing as a greater percentage of that time and time again. It's funny, at Gilt, one of our highest transaction ever, which was for a $24,000 vintage Rolex, was sold via mobile device. Absolutely amazing. We sold 3 cars last year, 3 VW Beetles. 2 of them were sold via mobile device. The device is no longer a barrier. People no longer fear making transactions on their mobile device. It is becoming second nature. People shop on their devices. They make purchase based on info from their smartphones. And if this doesn't say it, mobile web traffic to e-commerce sites tripled year over year during the 2010 holiday season. It is dramatically changing how people are shopping and consuming information. And I think the important thing to think about is that mobile commerce is not just about what happens on your phone. It's about where people are when they have your phone. People are using it in their store, when they're looking for a retailer. They use it to get information about purchase decisions. They compare prices, they get promotions and coupons, they read reviews, and they check for inventory. These are all amazing things that you can do on your mobile phone that suddenly help that conversion process for a marketer and help that along and make it that much easier. What does all this bring us back to? Elevating mobile as a part of your business strategy. It needs to be the forefront. So let's talk about what that means on a day-to-day basis. When you look at where we have been traditionally and where we're going, it used to be that you had to know your customer. You had to know what demographics they were and where they were located. Now you need to understand your customer. And you don't just need to understand them in terms of how they interact with your product. You need to understand them in terms of where they are throughout their entire day. It used to be that in-home ethnographies were the latest, greatest thing. But you know what? Now it can't just be in-home. You have to follow your audience throughout the entire day to truly understand where they are.